What do you need, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
I know Kung Fu. Show me.
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
Love having the guys on there, John and Dan. Gentlemen, how you doing today? Yeah, all right.
Good. Glad to be here and glad to see Minnesota winning.
I might mention that it is radio and that awkward silence just doesn't hang well when I throw a question out there. Let's do this quick just because basically I don't really care about this stuff. It gets too weird for me, but we can get it out of the way. Minnesota Vikings take an Ohio State offensive lineman, Donovan Jackson at number 24, first-round pick. I read somewhere it's like 40 years since the last time Minnesota has taken an offensive lineman in that first round. You guys good with that? I can't do that fantasy thing ahead. Like we have the 94th pick or something like that coming up. I can't do the math to figure out who's coming next. I don't mind us bolstering the line, and maybe we got everything else done. This kid sounds fantastic. Not upset. Don't know if I care. Your thoughts, Dan?
I don't mind them going for an offensive lineman. I'm a little disappointed that they picked the third best offensive tackle still on the board, but there were still two. It was Connells and Simmons. His teammate Simmons. Was probably that was the best remaining offensive tackle, but he was hurt for the last couple of months last year. But even then, he was still projected to be a higher pick than the Vikings went, but.
John, your thoughts? Never mind. John's thoughts on offensive linemen, because here, I mean, I've always said we need better linemen. It looked like they did some of that in the trades, John. I really kind of thought we'd grab some second-string quarterback of some sort. That's like the only thing I know we don't have is, I think the punter is our second quarterback. Your thoughts?
Well, I think, having two young quarterbacks would be like, what are they doing that for? I'm okay with offensive draft first round. That was really exposed during the playoff game. Let's face it. 9 sacks.
Oh yeah.
It needed help, and the two guys they signed in the off season plus this guy. Yeah, let's see what can happen. It would have been nice maybe for another defensive pick. Cornerback or safety, but they still got guys in the other rounds.
Okay.
And maybe they'll beef up that area some there. But this was the glaring need. If you had to pick one unit out of the team that really needed some work, it's the O-line.
All right. So we're sitting here, okay. Do you guys play that fantasy game? What bothers about the fantasy game, maybe the first 10 picks, you could look at 10 teams and decide what they want. But you get the 97th pick or whatever the next one is, who knows who's going to be left on the board and that sort of thing. I'm glad you watch. You watch it, Dan? Are you a ESPN draft watcher?
No.
Right.
No. I'll tell you, the number one thing I am happy about now is I won't be getting 15 alerts every day on my phone about so-and-so's final draft and mock draft. Oh, my God. Be done with it. So, yeah.
Not that I think we're always electrifying to listen to or watch, but, John, there can be nothing worse than watching ESPN 4 or whatever it is, and 4 people you don't know working through the process of the draft a week ahead of time. And it's like, I'm not going to remember who you picked anyway. What difference does it make? Your thoughts, John?
It's too many names, too many teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you got hundreds of guys, and beyond the first round, maybe part of the second round, you just lose them in a sea of humanity, really.
Yeah.
Now, what's a neat story, sometimes a guy comes out of a third or fourth round or later round even, and they turn into something. Those are always cool stories, but that's stuff you won't know for 2 or 3 years.
That's exactly right. All right, other good news stories I want to get to, side stories, we don't do a lot of it, but the Wild seem to be doing really well in this playoff series. They're up now 2-1. It looks like the boys are back and want to score some runs, some scores. We win, 5-2 against the Golden Knights last night. We're a 2-1 lead. does this number 4 ranked Wild team take out a number 1? Your thoughts, Johnny?
I think they can. Look at the impact that Kirill is having. I mean, and you sort of sit there and wonder if he had been healthy the rest of the season, would we have ended up a number 1 seed? Probably not, but maybe. You know, you can dream about it. Yeah. I sure am glad he's back now.
Sure.
Because I don't think we would have a 2-1 lead in this series if he wasn't playing. Okay. Did other guys step up while he was gone? Sure. But Golden Knights are a good team, but so are we, and we're showing it. And, you know, if we go up 3-1, we got the next home game. Ooh, boy.
Something to root for in downtown. Your thoughts, Dan, on your Minnesota Wild?
I'll even go further and say not only can they, I am confident they will at this point.
Wow.
This is a different team. Not just Kaprizov, but also Eriksson Ek came back at the same time. They were both they both had long absence. So now you have 2/3 of your top line is basically brand new compared to the team that was playing 2 months ago. So that's and then Boldy is really stepping up. So yeah, this is actually becoming a fun. That's one thing I can almost never say about the Wild in the past. Even when they've had pretty good seasons, they usually were not a fun team to watch.
Well, let's walk it through a little bit. This is not my realm here. Then you've got the Kings or the Oilers. It surely looks like L.A. is going to move forward there. They're up 2-0. Do we match up well with them? Is that something we feel good about? And just on the Western side, if you will, because I have no idea, who's the team to beat over here? Who is it that we expect to get to that championship? Anybody know?
I think with I would say that too. And I would also point out, you know, to Dan's point that we have our team back, our top guys back, that we could play with anybody right now. And I really believe that.
All right. That's just not a homered conversation there, Dan? Sounds like a homer thing to say in Minnesota. We could win the whole thing. Who says that in this town?
Do I make who makes picks that going to get the homers mad sometimes?
You do. That's
that
true.
Would be me. But I feel pretty good. I don't know about beyond this round. I think a lot of it is their momentum is going, and Gus is also playing like crazy. You got the hot goaltender if he can stay hot. But I think it's here we go. We'll take it one series at a time.
Old cliche Dan's back in the house. Let's go to break. We got much more to talk about. We'll talk some Wolves. We'll talk some Twins. All coming up after this with the guys at the end of the bench on the Al Travis Show.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
There are many ways to explore Alexandria. Some like to experience the outdoors and all the fun winter in Minnesota can provide. Pick your favorite way to get in touch with nature. Others like to explore downtown in the warm comfort of a boutique or gathered around a table with friends. You can do all of that or relax and do nothing at all. Come explore Alexandria. Start planning at explorealex.com.
you kidding me?
You know that comment you said to the radio? The thing that we got wrong?
Clearly, Brussels sprouts are the worst vegetable.
Call us and let the world know your thoughts. 855-257-7469. That's 855-ALS Show.
We've got the guys in the end of the bench, John and Dan, on with us, and I don't want to do the Twins right away because if we don't get to them, I'm fine with that. They're crushing me. I'm tired of saying what they got to do to get better, but we'll get to that. I'm loving the NBA Finals this year, and I say that in that the games are happening the way they should. That I was expecting them to happen. This Detroit-New York series from last night, New York comes back thanks to Cat. They're up now 2-1. Fantastic ball game to watch. Detroit, that's a mean little team, man. They are punchy. They'll hit you right in the mouth. The Oklahoma City-Memphis game. Now, Memphis made it a game, but that's all you can say. They're going to out 3-0. And I'll tell you, I said the Clippers were going to be something when we played them. They looked great. They took Denver again. They're now up 2-1. Your thoughts on just the series we're seeing so far? I'll start with you, Dan. Just how the basketball itself is going.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about the Clippers at all.
Okay.
That's I think I'm more in line with what you're saying, is that they're hitting their peak at the right time. Yeah. And Denver is not the team that they were, and that they were a couple of years ago. They're still a good team, but they're not just the dominant Western.
They don't have the help for Doncic. They don't have the second and third guy. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, John, your thoughts just quick so far. How far? What you're seeing in the NBA so far?
Yeah, I agree with you guys about Clippers, Denver. Denver just isn't what they were, and that'll probably be over sooner rather than later. Memphis, started out really hot in that game. I mean, 40 points in the first quarter, 13 in the fourth quarter. That was like Timberwolf-like.
So we'll call it. I like that.
Yeah, and New York, nice tight game, but I still think New York's going to take that one away. They just are.
The other series, some of these, again, I don't know. Boston and Orlando. Boston is up already 2-0. They play tonight at 6. That shouldn't even be had. It's the same thing with the Cleveland-Miami series. It's just a waste of TV time. And what I mean by that, so they put the Boston-Orlando tonight on TV. It's on ESPN at 6. But then they take the Milwaukee and Indiana game, which the Pacers are up 2-0. I think Milwaukee, it's a must-win. This is going to be a fantastic ball game. They put it on NBA TV. Like, I got to go spend some extra money to watch this stupid thing. I hate it. Boston could be wiping up Orlando. People are going to turn the TV off before Minnesota and LA ever get on TV. The way they're picking these games is nuts. Just think about it that way, Dan. Am I wrong that they just seem to not want to make any money?
No, I think, you're right. Absolutely. I hate to, how much I hate to say that.
I know.
Milwaukee and Indiana is, and come on, that's the fun. That's actually an interesting series.
Yes, absolutely. It means something. It's where is Milwaukee, the best player in the world, one of them, and that he may not be enough. I want to watch that game.
To the ones who are not Celtics fans of the world, that's by far the most interesting. So, yeah.
John, you with me on that? Just the choices
of the fans, guys. It's about the ads.
Well, so yeah, but if no one's watching,
that have all the people that watch are going to get the prime time. It's that way in every.
But it's putting Milwaukee and Indiana, the best game, on NBA TV, so I can go spend some money to go watch this. No, it's just, and it's the same thing. Cleveland and Miami. Oh, that's going to be a great game. TNT. That could be another 50-point blowout. No one's going to be watching halfway through it. But we got to talk some Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay. This series is going to be, this is what we're talking about, right? This series right now.
7 games.
One apiece. Minnesota knocked L.A. in the face on the first one. I don't think they were ready for us. L.A. came back and said, let's play tough. They knocked us in the face, and they took this one. Now it's home here. John, start with you. Give me your brilliance. What happens on the game tonight? 8:30 our time. ESPN.
I think it'll be a very close one. I think they're both going to come out hard. I think we will win, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a 2 or 3 point victory.
Okay.
I think they'll both play hard, and Target Center is going to rock tonight.
Oh, it's going to be tough. Dan, your thoughts?
I'm picking the Wolves tonight as well. A lot of it is the way they've been playing Luka has been a big difference. Because even though what they're basically doing is they're saying, Luka, go ahead and score. We're not going to double and triple team you. We're not going to. What we're going to do is, we're going to do a lot of switching off, and so he can't distribute.
Yeah.
So that's it's like, go ahead, Luka, score 30. Score 37 points. Okay.
We'll still win. Yeah.
We'll take care of everybody else. Yeah.
I'm a terrible radio guy because I did say LA will take this series in 6 when this thing started. I now believe Johnny's right. It'd probably go to 7. But that being said, that anybody can win. I have the feeling we'll know who wins this game in the first 12 minutes. If LA comes here and knocks us in the face like they did in that last game, Minnesota will fold. And here's the thing. It gets that chippy and that hard. It's one thing we kept our cool and that no one got ejected or anything. But if you get our crowd behind all these fouls that weren't called, I can see Naz Reid. Good God. I want Naz as my right to die at the bad bar fight. I want Naz. That guy was taking it to people. But he could also get kicked out. If LA comes in and kicks us, and Minnesota has a penchant to not show up right away, they let this get out of hand. I think we lose this game tonight, but we'll win the next one, and then it's a 3-game serease. That's my prediction.
Well, here's a funny thing about that schedule. We play tonight, and we play late, right?
Yes, 8:30.
8:30 it starts. And then we play right away on Sunday afternoon. Okay?
Yeah.
So why was there 3 days between game 1 and 2 out in L.A.? What was the point of that?
Well, they had to get it all set up because I think we play Sunday and then we don't play again until like the 4th of July. They like to get these guys rested. This schedule is nuts. It should be every other day, travel day to go to the other. This is a crazy schedule, John. We got a minute and a half. I got to do a little Major League Baseball. You think you can right the ship, the Twins taking on the White Sox. You win a couple, then you lose yesterday. You gained 1 game on the Sox here at home. And I'll tell you what, there was no one at the stands. I think at one point they showed a picture of the stand. That was a nasty day. And all you could see was the Coke guy and the hot dog guy walking the stands. What a terrible job that was yesterday. Your thoughts, Dan, on your Twins?
They still have them. I'm glad. I'm just glad they're back after a couple years ago when you didn't. Now they've been back in the last year, but yeah. But yeah, it's like, come on. They took down the mighty White Sox. They won the series. All they're going to do is win series. They have to do a minimum of the same against the Angels. Absolutely. Yep. The Angels are playing better this year, although they're falling off right now. But no, this year they need to become. They need more Luke Keeschel is what they need to get the fans interested.
There you go, John. Your thoughts on your Minnesota Twins?
Yeah, it's worth watching just to watch Keeschel right now. Anyway. We're still seeing things that I don't like leaving too many guys on base. That one game we should have had 10 or 12 runs for crying out loud.
Oh, yeah.
And Byron Buxton had that great homer late in the game, but between those 2 games, the second and third game, he had 5 strikeouts, I think. Yeah. So it's like, come on, where's the plate discipline?
If I may, he makes a great catch.
Problem.
He makes a great catch in that middle game to save it. If he doesn't make this over-the-head good thing, we lose. We were 1 grab away from losing the series to Chicago. That's what I mean. This team's got to be better than this, and I don't know what turns it around, but we were 1 freakishly good catch from losing that ball game. Dan, you're laughing. You're right. That's the 1 play difference from winning or losing.
We've got the good news is that we have the guy who's freakishly good out there to be able to do it. But we would have been tied, but I think you're right. Momentum would have gone. Momentum would have been gone.
Yeah, would have looked bad. All right, I gotta fly, gentlemen. We'll get you guys back in here Monday. Love having you on. It's the guys at the end of the bench, John and Dan, on the Al Travis Show.
Yep. Go Wolves!